for me personally, I think that when you're learning a language, yeah, there are like different steps and breakthroughs. And one is when you like learn it in the classroom, you can read sentences from a page, you can, fill out your worksheet or whatever you're doing. You've like checked your boxes, but now you have to have a conversation with people. And people, when they speak a language, speak in different accents, different slangs, and sometimes words are conjugated or arranged in ways that are more colloquial, so you don't learn them in a classroom setting. And then like, how do you break into that? And for me, the way that I really like to do it was through music, and that was like that's how I accessed it. And I remember when I would like commute to work, I don't drive, in a city, I take the bus. So I would have like a playlist of songs in French. And this is before like smartphones and whatever. And then I would print out the lyrics of those songs. And then I've done that hard work where I know what it says on the page, but hearing it when somebody sings, especially, it's really difficult. But getting like just listening and reading at the same time for me was a great tool to help me in conversation feel more confident and also be able to pick up on how people were sort of putting words together. And when people sing, it's hard to tell what your accent is, but a unique benefit of singing is that even though it's not being spoken in the same cadence as a conversation, you get the benefit of like seeing when somebody holds a note, you see like how you see that word being stretched out, which I think can be helpful when you're really trying to break through and like keep up in conversations, is to like have that sort of unique vantage where you're watching words get expanded and compressed in this song. And it sort of makes you feel like, okay, well, if I can get this, then I can definitely get this when somebody's talking in a conversation. If I can understand it when it's going like this in a song, then like, whew, that's nothing. So when you get to a conversation, you feel, I don't know, that was just me. That's just what I enjoyed doing. It was a little like game I could do with myself, and it helped me a lot when, again, in conversation and being able to speak more familiarly with people like in a group.
Yeah. You never found yourself in a conversation starting to sing what you were saying because you were so accustomed to hearing it sung?
Only after a few.
Yeah. I sing to my kids all the time, just random bits of conversation. I think they think what kid doesn't think their dad's an idiot? So I used to be I like metal music. I used to play in a metal band for about 10 years. I played guitar, and I didn't discover any music at all until I was maybe 12 years old. And we lived out in a very small town out in Kansas. The population of the town was almost 500 people. And so I don't even remember listening to the radio that much as I was growing up as a kid. I kind of discovered metal at a late age, and I was fascinated by the compositions, which the compositions were just very musical mind. The words, I don't even pay attention to them. I could not learn a language by listening to the words of songs. The words are, the vocals is one thing, because the vocals make music, but the words that the vocals are saying are some of my favorite songs that I must have listened to 5,000 times now from the time I was a kid. I can't even tell you what the name of those songs are. Some of them, most of them I could, but there's still some that I don't even know the names of the song. It's the track 3 on the third album. But even being very attuned to compositions of music, I've always felt that it was kind of helpful in learning languages as well. As you talked about, the cadence in which somebody speaks, or there are patterns in the ways that the language rolls off the tongue when native speakers are just speaking it in a natural way, and you kind of are able to capture that. You hear it. It's not music, but it comes into your mind the same way that music does, and you notice little details in it. When somebody says it. Mm-hmm. The funny thing is you may feel like you're imitating it perfectly, but when you hear a recording of yourself, you discover that no, I wasn't. But in your mind, you can hear it perfectly. So
That's good
yeah.
enough for me. That's
Yeah. Yeah, as long as you can hear it, you know. But it was, I think that in combination with being around native Spanish speakers, most of whom did not speak English from the very beginning of the language learning, I think that was probably most helpful.